Well, hey there, everybody. Definitely damp out there. It's chilly. The rain, it's still falling, but we might have just a brief break. Some of us, not everybody, of that rain before even more comes our way later on tonight. Everybody's getting rain tonight, so if you're not getting any now, that's definitely going to change. Take a look at the live radar right now. All of the low country getting that light rainfall right now. Just a couple little breaks there along I-16. Otherwise, it is just damp out there. Now we can expand this out just a little bit and show you what else is going on. So you can see South Georgia, a little bit dry here, but putting this in motion, you'll see that in a loop over the past couple of hours, we've seen some building of these light showers just off to the northeast of Waycross. But where we're really going to see some of this rain move in later on is further off to our west. Now this is a batch of rain that's moving in to southwest Georgia, but also notice south of Pensacola all the way over the Panhandle of Florida. Yes, that heavier rain is eventually going to make it all the way over here into the coastal empire and the low country. So this is the lightest rain that we're going to have. Light, persistent, it's going to hang out here all night long, and then a heavier rain will move in after midnight, more so toward sunrise, depending exactly where you live here in the area. So what I can do is time this on out for us this evening. We're going to see just a small break in here. So you can see there 11 o'clock. Notice there's a decent little break in these showers. Not everybody getting the rain all at once at the same time, but after midnight, hopefully a lot of us asleep by then, getting some rest. We see heavier rain more likely as we go closer to sunrise. So 6:30 in the morning, heavier rain moving inland toward the coast. So folks that live further west, you guys definitely getting in on that heavier rain first. Some thunder in there, not very likely, but you're definitely going to notice that the rain early in the morning is going to be heavier than what we are experiencing right now. 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe you're heading out to one of the services, going to early brunch, going to breakfast. Well, it looks like that heavier rain is going to be confined closer to the coast. Of course, this could be an hour or so off, but looking pretty confident there that from sunrise till about 10 o'clock, the heaviest rain will be more so along the coast. And then back behind that, it's going to be a little bit lighter rain. So, of course, that means that the folks that get the heavier rain first will dry out first. Even before noon, folks in Swainsboro, Statesboro, Vidalia, Zion getting a little bit drier already, but the clouds, they're going to stick around, and that rain for all of us not going to move out of here until the mid-afternoon. So it's a wet morning going into the early afternoon along the coast. Otherwise, pretty much here tonight through lunchtime tomorrow, pretty safe bet that rain will at least be in the vicinity. And then a couple lingering showers are going to be possible. This is what I'll be watching when I come into work tomorrow as well. Just a few sprinkles possible, but nothing as widespread as what we're going to have overnight. So how about rainfall totals? Well, here's one particular model's thinking on this. This is through a Sunday and about an inch possible. These have come down just a little bit. Say yesterday morning when we were talking about this, even yesterday evening, they were closer to 2 inches in some spots, but now it's about an inch to an inch and a half. Some isolated areas will definitely get above an inch and a half from this weekend. So already starting when that rain started a little earlier through when it stops in the afternoon. So a lot of folks very close to an inch, and I'll tell you what, we do need that rain. So this isn't necessarily the worst thing. Maybe it's bad for your plans, but for what the ground needs, it's not so bad. Even though I know it happens on the weekend, that's not the most fun. Some of the other models here, just going to pull them all up here. RPM, NAM, GFS, Euro. GFS is obviously the outlier here. That's going a little bit higher here in Savannah, but pretty consistent here, about an inch of rain likely in Savannah itself, and that's already counting some of the rain that we've had so far today. So that's what we're looking at here. Let us see here. Lester asking about the fishing forecast for tomorrow. Well, it's going to be raining in the morning, better in the afternoon. But as for tides, that kind of brings in my next point. So the high tide in the morning, 9:12, is forecasted to go above minor flood stage or into minor flood stage here, Fort Pulaski. So what does that mean? Well, you've heard us talk about it a couple of times over the past month or so, that there's that potential that some water gets up onto Highway 80, at least on the shoulders at 9.3. If that is in fact what happens at 9.3, is you'd probably just have the shoulders have some water on them. Now, whenever Highway 80 actually closed, the tide higher than that, the gauge higher than that. So it's not a big concern right now, but just something to keep in mind if you're planning on going over to Tybee or coming off of Tybee in the morning, say from about 7:30 till 10:30 or so in the morning. The water is going to be up close toward Highway 80. So still not a bad day for fishing. Fish bite in the rain. Low pressure system kind of helped that out. At least that's something that I've always encountered. But something else that plays into this would be the wind, of course. Now, we won't notice inland the wind being quite as strong, but I just want to pick this up in the morning. We'll just throw it up there around high tide specifically. Notice that the wind moving water toward the shore here and sustain 20 to 25 immediately along the coast. Less friction there, easier for the wind to be a little bit higher, and then inland 10 to 15, even a little bit lower than that. And this is specifically around that high tide. It's going to be a little bit stronger overnight, but really just about 10 miles an hour inland. And then watch what happens in the afternoon. Low pressure moves away, wind becomes more northerly, northwesterly, brings in drier air and cooler air. That's what we're really going to notice. Now, I did see somebody else here asking about snow. Not happening here in the Low Country or Coastal Empire, at least not with this system, and it's not in the forecast either. So I know it's fun to think about, but it's not happening here. So Chris says that they're waiting on snow in Charlotte. Charlotte itself, North Carolina, will get snow. South Carolina here in the Low Country that we cover and the Coastal Empire of Georgia, not getting snow. Just wanted to clarify that. I know it's always fun to think about. I enjoy it as well, but it's just not there in the forecast for us right now. So that's the forecast. A little bit drier for the middle of the week here. I kind of got everything covered going through tomorrow, but we'll go ahead and look at the next 3 days as a whole as this loads up. Give it a second. And there we go. So almost 100% coverage, really could be 100 there for Sunday. Monday, just a few isolated showers, but check this out. We're not making it out of the 40s for probably 95% of the viewing area coming up on Monday. Mostly cloudy, so those clouds are sticking around. Middle of the week, we see cooler mornings, so specifically Monday morning, about 10 degrees cooler than what we're waking up to Sunday, and then mid-30s back with us, frosty conditions possible for Tuesday morning. So it's like these nicer, drier days, the better days to get outside, they're just not lining up with our weekends. But how about we look at the rest of the forecast here? Wednesday, probably the coldest morning. That's what I've got here. Wednesday, likely going to have freezing conditions, about 30, 32 for specifically inland communities. But even along the coast, we could get down to freezing for a couple of hours. Then we warm back up. Check this out, 60s Thursday and Friday. Now, late Thursday, depending on the timing of the front that's coming in on Friday, could have to bump these rain chances up just a tiny bit, but this would be late in the day as of right now. So most of Thursday, dry. Really from Monday afternoon through Thursday, most of Thursday going to be dry. Friday, another front swings through. Widespread rain back with us again. It's going to be a warmer rain, right? Because we're in the 60s versus in the 40s and 50s that we're having tonight. And then even lingering showers on Saturday possible. So at least it looks like the bulk of the rainfall for this coming next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, looks like it will happen on Friday. So if you have family activities to do Saturday, the rain chance is not going to be a washout, kind of like tomorrow morning is going to be. So appreciate you guys tuning in this evening. I will go back and read all of your comments that you've put on Facebook, respond to them. Of course, appreciate you guys taking out some of the time of your weekend to check in on the forecast. I'm going to have an updated forecast tonight on the news at 11 if you guys are going to be up. And if not, you can always check us out on the WTOC weather app. I've got a video in there now, hour by hour forecast. You can turn on your location and actually have it specific to where you're at, not just you can put a city in there like Savannah or Metter or Claxton, or you can have the app kind of follow you and it'll update that forecast as well. Kind of cool. So if you guys aren't up for the news at 11, that's always a good option, and if not, be back tomorrow as well. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, and if you have those questions, you're watching on Facebook or you're not on Facebook, or you're watching, say, on Roku, on Twitter, and you want to ask those questions, feel free. I'm about to go answer those. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Saturday evening.